Welcome to Everyday English Channel. Get ready, everyone, because this story will take you on an exciting adventure. Let the story begin. 1. War on the border. A serious fight suddenly started between two countries, Thailand and Cambodia. They are neighbors in Southeast Asia. For a long time, there were small problems, but now there is a war. The fighting began early one morning near the border. The sounds of loud explosions and gunfire filled the air. People in nearby towns and villages were terrified. They ran for safety. Many did not understand what was happening. It was a very confusing and dangerous time for families. Thailand's army is strong. They used powerful F-16 fighter jets. These planes fly very fast and can attack from high in the sky. The jets dropped bombs on military targets inside Cambodia. This was the first time in many years that planes were used in a fight between the two countries. Cambodia fought back with heavy guns and rocket launchers. The fighting quickly became serious, and other countries began to worry. Because of the violence, both governments made a big decision. They closed the border between Thailand and Cambodia. The roads were blocked. No one could travel from one country to the other. Many people had jobs across the border. Now, they could not go to work and could not earn money for their families. Other families were separated. Trucks carrying food and goods could not pass. This closure affected thousands of lives. Everyone was asking the same questions. Why did this happen? Why are they fighting? 2. The first shot. The war did not begin with big armies or planes. It started with something quiet and deadly landmines. In the border area, soldiers from both countries patrol the land. The region has thick forests and ancient stone temples. One day, a group of Thai soldiers was walking during a routine patrol. They did not see the bomb hidden beneath the dirt. Suddenly, an explosion shattered the silence. A soldier had stepped on a landmine. It was not an old bomb from a past war. The Thai army found it was a modern Russian-made mine, still in new condition. Over the next week, more mines exploded. In one incident, 3 soldiers were injured. In another, 5 more were wounded. In total, 10 Thai soldiers were seriously hurt. 2 of them lost their legs. Thailand was furious. Military leaders accused Cambodia of planting the bombs. They called it an inhumane act that violated international agreements. Cambodia denied the accusation. An official claimed Thailand was responsible and even pointed to Thai social media posts showing their own army placing the mines. The two sides no longer trusted each other. The angry words soon turned into weapons. Cambodian soldiers fired heavy artillery across the border. Thailand responded with airstrikes. The sound of war echoed through the border towns. A real conflict had begun. 3 old maps, old problems. The fighting between Thailand and Cambodia is not new. It's an old argument, more than 100 years old. The conflict began because of unclear maps and a famous ancient temple on the border. This story started when France was a powerful force in Southeast Asia. French officials made maps to define the border between Thailand, then called Siam, and French-controlled Cambodia. These maps were created around 1904. But the maps had mistakes, especially in the mountain areas. The biggest disagreement is about a temple called Priya Vihir. This stunning stone temple from the 11th century sits on a high cliff in the Dangrek Mountains. It overlooks the Cambodian plains and is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Both Thailand and Cambodia claimed it. In 1954, after Cambodia became independent, Thai soldiers entered the temple. The two countries couldn't agree, so they went to the International Court of Justice, ICJ. In 1962, the court ruled that the temple belonged to Cambodia. Thailand had used the French maps for nearly 50 years and had not objected before. However, the ruling only covered the temple itself. It didn't say who owned the land around it. That gray area has caused tension ever since, especially during past conflicts from 2008 to 2011. And now, once again, it is at the heart of a dangerous new fight. 4. A secret phone call. Thailand's Prime Minister, Paetongtarn Shinawatra, faced a serious political crisis. At just 38 years old, she was the youngest prime minister in Thai history. The problem began with a private phone call. She spoke with Hun Sen, the former Cambodian prime minister. Though not officially in power, Hun Sen still held major influence. Paetong Tarn thought the call was private. But Hun Sen secretly recorded the 17-minute conversation and then released it to the public. In the call, Paetong Tarn criticized Thailand's military. She said the army was not handling the border situation well. She even called them a rival faction, suggesting they were an enemy within her own government. She also said that some top military leaders were part of the political opposition. The public was shocked. The Thai army was furious. The leak made the government look weak and divided. Markets crashed. The stock index fell for 3 days. A key political partner, the Bumjai Party, left the government coalition. Without them, Paetong Tarn lost her majority in parliament. At a time of war, Thailand was plunged into political chaos. Experts said the phone call showed Paetong Tarn's lack of diplomatic experience. Some believed Hun Sen released it on purpose to use Thailand's internal conflict as an advantage for Cambodia. 5. Closing the border. After the attacks, both countries shut down the border. No one was allowed to cross. This decision hurt thousands of people. Every day, workers, traders, and families crossed the border. Around 500,000 people relied on this trade to survive. Now, poor families had no income. Businesses suffered. Communities that were once close were now divided. Cambodia reacted strongly. They stopped buying Thai fuel and gas. They banned Thai fruits, vegetables, and even TV shows. Thailand responded with their own restrictions. Trade between the countries, worth $2.8 billion a year, suddenly collapsed. Shortages began. A hospital near the border, Punam Dongrak Hospital, was hit by gunfire. It became too dangerous to operate, and doctors had to evacuate patients. Sick people were left without care. The situation grew worse. Diplomats were expelled. Ambassadors were sent home. The two governments stopped talking. Thailand and Cambodia. A growing conflict. Thailand and Cambodia are now facing a big problem. Other countries are watching and they are worried. They do not want the fighting to continue. A special group of countries in Southeast Asia is called ASEAN. Both Thailand and Cambodia are members of this group. ASEAN's main job is to help its members live together in peace. The group is trying now. They want the two countries to talk, not fight. But this problem is very difficult. The fighting is very serious with big guns and airplanes. ASEAN has a rule about not interfering too much in the problems of its members. This rule makes it hard for the group to take strong action. So, while ASEAN is talking, the fighting continues. Other powerful countries are also paying attention. China is a large and important neighbor to both countries. The Chinese government said it is deeply concerned. China has offered to mediate the dispute. A mediator is a neutral person or country that helps two sides talk to each other. China has many business projects in the region, and a war is bad for business. It wants stability. The United States is also watching the situation from far away. The U.S. is worried that the conflict could grow bigger. A larger war could make the whole area unsafe, and this is a big concern for the U.S. It wants a diplomatic solution. Because the fighting is so bad, Cambodia decided to ask a very important global group for help. This group is the United Nations, or the UN. The UN's job is to keep peace in the world. The leader of Cambodia, Prime Minister Hun Manet, sent an urgent letter to the UN Security Council. The Security Council is the most powerful part of the UN. In his letter, the Cambodian leader said that Thailand attacked his country without any reason. He called the attacks an act of aggression. He asked the Security Council to meet immediately to stop Thailand. This action takes the problem from a local fight to a global issue. Cambodia hopes the world will support its side. 7. A fight in the sky. The fighting between Thailand and Cambodia escalated and became much more serious. The war was not just on the ground anymore, it moved into the sky. This made everything more dangerous for people on both sides of the border. The two countries had very different armies and different ways of fighting in this new, bigger war. Thailand had a very strong air force with modern technology. It used fast and powerful planes called F-16 Fighting Falcons. One morning, 6 of these jets flew across the border into Cambodia. Their mission was to conduct strikes on Cambodian military positions. The Thai army leaders said their attacks were planned very carefully. They stated that they only hit military targets, not the homes of normal people. Using these advanced jets was a very big decision. It was the first time in more than 30 years that planes were used in a fight between the two countries. The loud sound of the jets flying overhead made people on the ground very scared. It showed everyone that this was not a small border problem anymore. It was becoming a real war. On the other side, Cambodia's army fought differently. They did not have the same kind of powerful planes as Thailand. Instead, they had strong rockets such as the BM-21 rocket launcher. They fired these rockets from the ground into Thailand. But Cambodia's targets were not only military. Their rockets landed in towns and cities. They hit civilian areas where ordinary people lived and worked. One rocket attack destroyed a gas station in a Thai province, and an 8-year-old boy was killed. Other rockets were fired at a hospital near the border. Because of the danger, the hospital had to be evacuated. Doctors and nurses had to leave, and critically sick patients had to be moved to safer places. The two armies had different strategies. Thailand used its air power to attack military places. Cambodia used its rockets to create fear and damage civilian areas. This fight in the sky with jets and rockets made the conflict much more deadly. The danger was now everywhere, and many innocent people were hurt or killed. 8. What happens next? This big fight shows how very old problems can start new wars. The argument between Thailand and Cambodia is more than 100 years old. But today, people are dying because of it. The conflict is not just about soldiers and guns. It is about real people. The people who are hurt the most are normal people, not the leaders of the countries. An 8-year-old boy died when a rocket hit a gas station. A hospital near the border had to close. Doctors and nurses had to leave very sick people because it was too dangerous to stay. The border is now closed. Around 500,000 people need the border to be open for their jobs. They sell things or work in the other country. Now they cannot work. Many families have no money for food. This is the real cost of the fighting. What will happen now? The future is not clear. Nobody knows if the fighting will stop or get worse. The best thing would be for the two countries to start talking. Maybe groups like ASEAN or other big countries can help them find peace. This is the most hopeful idea. But there is also a bad possibility. The fighting could continue for a long time in a small way. This has happened before and many people died. The worst thing would be a full war with more planes, more rockets, and more fighting. This would be a disaster for everyone in the region. This is a sad story. The leaders of the two countries are fighting about old maps and ancient temples. But this fight hurts families and children today. It seems the leaders cannot find new ways to solve these old problems. They use anger and fighting instead of talking. When leaders argue about lines on a map, normal people lose everything. They lose their homes, their jobs, and sometimes their loved ones. The future of these two countries is unknown. Will their leaders choose peace? Or will more people have to suffer? What do you think the countries should do to stop the fighting? Closing message. Hey there, just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like. Write your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you. Thanks for sticking around till the end of the story. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss a new story. Have a wonderful day. Take care and see you next time.